Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney.
Yeah, probably.
It's like every other day.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're going to talk about Galaxy's Edge. We haven't talked about Galaxy's Edge in a while. And WDW Pro has put up some new articles on piratesandprincesses.net talking about how, well, they might put the expansion on pause because probably money.
Okay, so what's the expansion area?
They have a gateway where they left it open to possibly expand in Galaxy's Edge, and they think they're gonna do something with the hotel instead. So we're gonna talk. Okay. We're gonna talk about what could have been with Galaxy's Edge. That might be what they were sort of planning to do with it, but I would say any major plans for any expansions in any Disney park at this point, given the pandemic, I think you can kiss them goodbye.
Or just, yeah, or at least shelved. But the thing about the hotel was everything that they had promised, like, oh, it's gonna be blaster shots of your head, and you're gonna have all these cool things. They're basically putting into the hotel, which is like $3,000 a weekend or a night or something.
Yeah, they're gonna make you pay for it. Pay big time. Pay big. Mm-hmm. Big pay. All right, so we're going to talk about all of that. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 185,000 subs. We do, yeah, you need to do the woohoo.
Sorry, woohoo.
Not as excited about Star Wars as it used to be. I was
distracted because I was just thinking that they're going to make it, instead of LARPing, it'll be LARP-ching.
LARP-ching. Cha-ching. All right, lots of credits.
Yeah, sorry, I was distracted by my joke, which is really lame, but it was funnier in my head.
All right, so we're going to talk about the stuff. We do talk about Disney. Worked in and around the company for a number of years.
No, you liar.
Do work on a Disney blog called Pirates and Princesses.
No, you liar.
Yeah. Some people don't like Pirates and Princesses.
Some people don't believe that we actually like you. You never even probably been to Disney World.
We have literally had people, it's like, bitch, please. Like,
I find that funny.
Freaking lived there for a long time. Practically. It was like every
month you were on a plane.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
Not their Disney World. Disneyland. It was one or two.
Yeah, it was there. Oh, sometimes some weeks that'd be both.
Yeah, there was a time where he was like literally from one to the other, boom, boom.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been to a lot of Disney parks. Okay. All right. So we're gonna talk about this. This is coming from WDW Pro. Now, to put this in perspective. Let's put this in perspective. We're going to talk about this new lightsaber technology too. You're going to pay big time for that.
I'm sure you are.
Big for that too. Disney's stock is kind of going down here. A lot of stock is going down, but Disney did not do as well as Comcast did. And I got to wonder on some level if the reality is starting to sink in for some people, because Disney's stock prices have been, I believe, inflated.
Yeah, it has been weird. I'm just trying to figure out what caused it, because, they're going to open Disneyland on April 30th. It could have been, the tickets went on sale.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
So it could possibly be that there was a fiasco with that. And then because, not many people could get in, obviously, that, that could have dropped it. They just, they were going to be doing this staycation thing, Magic at Sea for the UK, to get on these special 2 to 3 night cruises. And now some of those got canceled after they made a big deal about announcing them.
Yeah, so I think what's going on here, and that's the one thing I tried to bring up, is Disney's stock price has been, boosted on hope. A lot of investors are hopeful. They're hopeful that the pandemic is going to be over and people will resume travel normally. They're hopeful that Disney Plus will become a legit Netflix competitor. They hope that Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar all stay relevant. And I hope it works out for investors. Because
I do too, because we're investors. But I just can't get past that bad CG for the Crayfish.
I know, right? It doesn't even look like her. It doesn't even look like her.
Anyway, I'm sorry. It takes me right out of what you're saying.
So look, they peaked in March, which shocks me. And something's not right. I'm sorry. In March, where they're like at $208 a share, it was an all-time high for Disney during a pandemic with three quarters of their business down. They had to borrow money last year just to stay afloat.
Yeah, but their stocks kept staying up. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but it was a little strange. I'm just saying. It didn't last forever.
And Disney Plus is, they're picking up subs, but the content's been meh. You know? And then there's a lot of controversy around, the Mandalorian and Gina Carano and all of that, which, but they're not really reporting the numbers on the shows. And
well, they said they aren't going to report the numbers on Disney Plus either.
Yeah.
They said they weren't going to. So if they do, it'll be an investor, the quarterly calls. But even then, I don't think they're going to say. They made sure they said, we don't have to tell you kind of thing.
So Disney, they're kind of where they were, I think, after 9/11, where they had a lot of projects they were working on and they had a lot of projects in development, but the money was starting to run out. So we saw a lot of stuff get tabled. I mean, Epcot is completely torn up.
Oh my gosh, it's like a complete construction zone.
Yeah, and I don't think we're getting that giant chia pet thing that they were
the festival
yeah,
pavilion
the bonsai tree.
I don't know.
Pavilion.
Yeah, I didn't think it really fit to begin with. Even though I will say, Epcot always needs shade, and that would have made a difference. So I mean, I did appreciate why they were looking into that.
Oh, I think they were looking into it so they could upcharge for dessert parties.
Well, I think that's what it was going to be, because they were like, it was like to watch the fireworks and stuff. And and I'm sure you would have been paying a lot of money to sit on top of the festival thing with all the greenery and
Yeah.
I'm sure you're completely right there too.
Yeah. So anyway, it does seem like they're pulling back on a lot of plans. We're hearing back channel that they're pulling back on a lot of the huge plans, quietly canceling things, holding off on opening other things, trying to, the 50th was supposed to be the biggest damn celebration they ever had ever in the history of ever. And now it's going to be kind of a low key thing.
They've made it 18 months instead of a year. Like usually they do a year long. They did it. They're expanding it to 18 months. Probably so they can get more of the stuff out and say it's part of the 50th anniversary.
If it wasn't for that pesky virus.
I know, right? Well, I mean, that virus has screwed up a lot of people for a lot of things, but still.
Virus screwed up the world. So I think in that regards, it's understandable. But now pros saying that Galaxy's Edge's Phase 2 expansion is likely on a long-term pause. So there was an area for expansion. They have this in Avatar too, in Pandora. Yes. They have an area that they were talking about, waiting until the new movies came out, and they were probably going to put a third attraction.
Well, they might by then, because that'll be a little while.
Down
so
the road.
That's possible.
So the area was expected by Disney to launch to intense success in the studios. Particularly, the area was designed in such a way to allow for significant expansion.
Well, when they were planning this out, they would refuse to admit that their sequel trilogy was a bust. And this is, to me, further, because they were adding this expansion for even before the pandemic that I knew of, other than the hotel. So to me, it just seems like it was going to happen, but since the movies didn't do as well as they wanted or expected, it's not happening. I think the Mandalorian might have brought that back, and then they killed the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a lot of bad choices led to the cancellation.
Yeah, they could have had Baby Yoda's Big Adventure. And it would have been
that would have been actually funny. Oh my God, I'd ride that.
Like an indoor coaster or like a dark ride. Like
you get to go on the back and you punch in the head.
Yeah, that's how the ride ends. Cast member punches you in the head as you get out of you're on your little flying baby buggies, and then you get out of the ride and they just donkey punch you.
But I would totally ride that. I would totally ride, not the donkey punch part, but I would totally ride Baby Yoda's Big Adventure. I would totally do that.
So yeah, there is the door to nowhere. They said beyond just the additional restaurant, the expansion on both coasts was designed to allow for. Galaxy's Edge had major real estate available south and southwest of the current footprint.
They were supposed to have a whole other attraction they pulled out.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. So here, well, real quick. So the version of Galaxy's Edge that we got, and this kind of ties into the lightsabers and ties into the hotels, it was a very budget cut version of what was supposed to happen.
It's a very stripped down version.
Originally, it was supposed to be a Harry Potter killer. They were going to have aliens and droids and all kinds of stuff walking around. It was supposed to be like going to Mos Eisley. And instead, it became another Morocco pavilion.
I'm sorry. It feels like a Moroccan flea market. So.
It's not impressive. And it could have been impressive.
The stalls are even so small that when it's busy, which, I'm not saying it's not busy, because it is. When people were there, it was busy. It just wasn't to the level they thought it would be.
No.
But you can't even walk in those stalls. So it's kind of like they made them so tiny, but if they were expecting a lot of people, they actually, nerfed themselves by making it too small.
Well, I mean, some of the stuff that they had planned for it originally, they said, Imagineering, which they've cut back significantly on Imagineering, they said the whole purpose was that you would live your Star Wars adventure.
That was the point.
Yep, through role play and interactive technology, including lightsabers.
Right, and how you performed on like Smuggler's Run was supposed to impact how you were treated in the park.
Yep.
That's what the magic bands are for at Disney World. That one of the things they were going to use it for was to track you for that and all that stuff. And they still say that goes on, but I have not seen it.
I've occasionally seen Kylo Ren. I've occasionally seen that blue-haired spy girl.
I've never seen the blue-haired spy girl.
I saw her run past the restaurant, Ronto Roasters.
Was that when the kids and I were over in Oga's? Maybe.
Yeah. She just ran down the street. It's like, okay, whatever. But they were going to do roaming droids. They were going to do drones, and they were going to have ships take off and all kinds of stuff. Aliens walking around. You would go into the cantinas and the restaurants, and they were going to have aliens there, and it was going to be like walking into a Mos Eisley cantina.
The cantina, you can't even walk in there, guys. When you go into Oga's, you're basically told, here's where you're going to be and here's where you're going to stay. And they kind of want you to stay there because it's too busy.
How immersive.
Right. So you don't really get any much immersion. You basically are just stuck there. I mean, it's cool. I'm not going to lie. But it's overpriced for what you get.
Yeah.
And it isn't that good. Because I was there with my kids. And now some of the alcoholic drinks, I guess, are really good, which obviously I didn't have with my children. But we had some of the food and it was not very good.
Yeah, that's honestly, that sums up Disney these days.
But it was cool, though. I mean, I'm not going to lie. We were at the bar, and there was a lot of cool stuff going on behind the bar. So I'm not going to knock it, because it is actually pretty cool.
Well, okay, so they had this third attraction, which originally... Now, remember, guys, we've heard from multiple people that they originally were designing Galaxy's Edge to be original trilogy.
Yes.
It was supposed to be Tatooine.
It would have made a hell of a lot more sense.
It would have made a hell of a lot more money, too. So this clearly is a do-back. Yes. They were going to make a walking do-back attraction. Then they rethemed it to whatever the hell this is. But you can see it just looks like a do-back, and a bantha got it on. And that's what this thing is. And it was going to actually walk around the perimeter here. Which would have been really cool, because you would have seen these animals, walking around, and they were going to do that. Well, that got the axe.
Well, I'm sure, honestly, though, if we're going to be fair, I'm sure it was really expensive, and I'm sure that would have been very hard to maintain those.
Yeah.
I mean, I just to be devil's advocate here, knowing what I know, those things probably would have been a bear to keep up and keep running.
That's true. Space bear.
Space bear, right?
A space bear.
Fuzzy
That's what they're going to call them,
space.
space bears.
Yes.
So anyway, they were supposed to have a phase 2, and phase 2 is supposedly being phased out. The previously planned gateway was reportedly the massive door to nowhere near the Kylo Ren cameo area. In the image below, the gateway is located in the very upper right portion of the area, the aerial photo. The reason we believe that Disney is moving away from an expansion anytime soon is due to the expansion gateway now reportedly being used as a terminal for the Star Wars Hotel.
Yes. Okay. So the Star Wars Hotel, because you're supposed to be fully immersed the entire time you're at the hotel. So what they're going to do is they're going to have retrofitted buses that have screens and stuff. So you board the buses, at the inside looks like a Star Wars shuttle, and they probably run screens while you're moving, like you're flying through space or whatever. And then you're landing at Batuu, and they were going to have a terminal where you get off of these buses, so you never see anything but Star Wars, because it has to be fully immersive for their LARPing.
For the LARP Ching.
It's going to cost it.
LARP Ching actually sounds like an alien in Jabba's court.
Yeah,
in Jabba's
Ching.
palace. Yeah, they would have called him something else probably.
But a crazy nickname, like Butt Chin and Butt
Butt
Face.
Chin, Fart Face, something. And then they just, but he actually has a name. And then they've got a whole backstory on the comics. You have to buy all the comics.
Yeah, and then the kids novels too. So,
Yeah. So this is where they're supposedly going to put it. That's not where it needed to go, though. According to Pro, this is not where the terminal had to be. Another location would have been slightly more work for Disney, but also better for guests and future expansions near the Millennium Falcon. That location would have had guests enter the land with the spectacle of the ship directly in front of them.
That would have been cool.
Well, yeah, it made sense, too. If you were in a spaceport to come out.
In the spaceport?
In the spaceport?
Right, that makes,
Who knew? Appears to have been discarded along with the expansion due to convenience and lower capital expenditure.
It was cheaper, translation.
Cheaper. Before the pandemic, Galaxy's Edge was the first Disney expansion we can recall that either did not increase attendance or even lowered attendance in Disneyland.
It really did not do well at launch. I mean, not doing well being relative, of course. I mean, you could still argue it was busy, but it didn't go the way Disney thought it would. Let's put it that way.
With the lack of demand at the forefront of some headlines, it's not hard to imagine why Disney might steer away from investing more into the land. It was $1 billion, I think, in each park.
Yeah, each park was $1 billion.
Yeah, it's insane. For 2 rides, and only one of them's good. I'm sorry.
The Falcon is really impressive and exciting to be able to go on the Falcon. It's cool, but it's not that great of a ride.
I would have loved for it to have been original trilogy with Han Solo.
They could fix that easily enough.
Yeah, I mean, everything could be, that's the thing. Everything in Galaxy's Edge could be walked back. It was clear that the Falcon, that's supposed to be docking bay 94.
We noticed it. Like, we noticed that. We were like, that could be changed, that could be changed. It's set up in such a way it could easily be changed.
Rise of the Resistance. You swap Rey out for CGI Luke Skywalker. They already made him.
Right,
CGI
you swap out Kylo Ren for Vader.
Yeah.
And Tarkin, Hux for Tarkin or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, So anyway, they were talking about, the Mandalorian coming in the Galaxy's Edge. Those are rumors. I don't know if they're going to go anywhere near that now, especially given the Gina Carano controversy.
Sucks because, it's not fair to, there's a lot of really cool stuff about Mandalorian. And it wasn't right what happened at all. I mean, she never said anything that warranted the level they went. If what she said that warranted firing, so did what Pedro Pascal said. The double standards are ridiculous. But it's a shame because there's a lot of really good characters and stories that could have been done with The Mandalorian.
Yeah, and who knows what's
people aren't going to support it because they're pissed.
Yeah. So that's that. The hotel, I gotta tell you, I am shocked that they're going through with it. I think
we really thought they would cancel that one, but you get a lot of money for not much time.
Yeah, you're talking a weekend's going to set you back thousands and thousands.
Yeah, and the rooms look like cruise ship cabins, but like less comfy.
Yeah.
They don't look like they'd be very hospitable, if you ask me. But, what do I know? I'd probably, they can send us down and we'll check it out and cover it for you. But they won't. But they could. But we'd be honest.
They don't like us
very much. They don't like honesty. That's why they don't like us.
They don't. Disney doesn't like honesty.
But think about how much goodwill they could win over with some people if they actually sent people that were critical of them in to give it a fair shake. But they won't ever do that because that requires balls.
Universal would do that.
Mickey doesn't have balls.
Mickey doesn't have balls.
Yeah, Universal would probably. But anyway.
I don't know why Mickey wears pants. He doesn't have any balls anymore.
I don't know.
His balls dropped off. Anyway.
Lightsaber. Oh, yeah. We were talking about this.
Yeah, so we'll just talk about this quickly. You can go out to Pirates and Princesses and see. But yeah, Josh D'Amaro had a quote-unquote real lightsaber. Mm-hmm. And as I understand it, it's just an LED strip, like a tape measure or something, curled up inside of...
It just pops up and down.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure they're going to charge you a ridiculous amount of money for that. Like when they do with Savi's workshop, which they bring it back, by the way, that people can actually, go in and have it back to what it was. They were like $200 lightsabers and they break. Everybody was complaining about them. You're not allowed to even have them in the parks because they want you to keep them in the case so you don't hit anybody.
Yeah, pros going on. He talks about how these lightsabers supposedly work, and if you want the lightsaber you really wanted as a kid, you're gonna have to go outside of Disney and get replica or this guy's.
People have them. They're really good, but they're really expensive.
Well, this guy's got an actual plasma lightsaber sword.
Oh, he has a plasma
4,000 degrees.
I think I've heard about that, but that's dangerous. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about they actually make ones that are much more like screen accurate.
Oh, yeah.
Do a lot more cooler things than the ones you get at Disney parks. They manufacture on cheap and upsell like ridiculous prices.
Everything there is kind of manufactured on the cheap. Now, we do have a video. If you check out when we went, first time we went to Galaxy's Edge, and we did build a droid.
That's on the channel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the channel, and it was fun.
You guys had fun with the droid, but the droids are like $100.
Yeah,
and you can actually get chips, and they can have their own personality. You can program them and do a lot of cool things with them, so they make a little more sense than a $200 lightsaber that breaks really easily.
Yeah, so I don't know, guys. I mean, look, people are gonna go to Galaxy's Edge because it's there. I mean, seriously, Disney parks. You could put some generic land in there, and if you've got your Disney diehards, they're going to go there just
no matter what.
No matter what.
Once upon a time, I would have been that Disney diehard.
Yeah.
But yeah, you lost me a couple years ago. And then, especially when you have your own people calling me names. So kiss my ass. But anyway.
That's how you really feel.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't even character draft me for pretty sakes. I was such a Star Wars nerd. And now I'm just like, I get tired of being harassed. Anyway.
All right, guys. So we're going to wrap this one up. Don't expect any major improvements to Galaxy's Edge anytime soon. Disney's starting to run out of money, I think, for that sort of thing.
They'll say they aren't. Or they're not. That's not priority. Let's put it that way.
It's not a priority. I think they have a lot of other things they want to do. Hopefully they fill in some of the big holes in Epcot.
They need to worry about that first.
Yeah. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.